welcome to Discover Manufacturing Week. We're so glad you could join us today. My name's Cindy Farah, and I'm your host. I'm also the project coordinator for Discover Manufacturing, and I'm really excited to be here. Manufacturing Week is such a dynamic event. It's a great way for schools and companies to get connected together and for students to learn a lot more about the different types of careers in the manufacturing industry. So we have a really interesting program for you today. We have two companies here joining us, Trans-Matic Manufacturing and LG Energy Solutions, and they will each be presenting for about 10 minutes. They'll give you a lot of information about their companies, some of the programs they have, and introduce you to some of their employees. And then we have Jerry Hill here with us today. He is from Discover Manufacturing also, and he is the industry council lead. He is a real guru in manufacturing, I'll tell you, and he's going to be here to help answer questions and answers later on in our segment. So if you do have any questions while we're presenting, please use the toolbar, the Q&A section down there, and submit your questions. If you're watching as a class though, just jot down your notes for your questions for your teacher, and then we'll have your teacher submit the questions. And then what we can do is at the very end, we'll take time to answer your questions. So, all right, the other thing I want to let you know, if there's any seniors watching, we have scholarships through Discover Manufacturing. So go to our website, there'll be the application, all the information is there, and the scholarships are for seniors who are interested in pursuing a career in manufacturing and also in West Michigan. So please take a look at that, and your teacher can also give you the link to that. And the other thing today, though, we would really appreciate is after the webinar, if you could all complete a survey. So the surveys, the links your teacher can give to you also, and students who complete the survey will be enrolled, or they'll be put into a random drawing, and we will select 20 students to receive a $10 Amazon e-gift card. So please complete the survey. All right, well, we are ready to get started with our first company. We're going to begin with a video for Trans-Matic Manufacturing, and then I'll introduce you to them.
When we started the Deep Draw Company over 50 years ago, people called us Mavericks. We chose to create the parts other companies wouldn't, and that brought a lot of attention. For us, it was a choice to invest in our technology, process, and people. We wanted to make parts that were stronger, smarter, and more reliable for every customer, regardless of their market. We started as Mavericks. Today, we're a global leader. The things that shaped us then still shape us now. Integrity, excellence, a quick-to-act mentality. Our customers have learned they can count on our components to solve their problems, no matter how complicated. And we're proud to produce 3.5 million of those solutions every single day. We source our product and talent locally because we believe in investing in our employees' communities and saving our customers' expense, all while achieving the highest standards of excellence. Since day one, we've operated as a family-owned business, and we remain committed to pursuing opportunities that help our people grow, our partners thrive, our production expand, and our business stay sustainable. That's why our customers trust us, and that's why we're built to last.
Awesome. Great video. Thank you. All right. Well, we have Trisha Zondervan here today from Trans-Matic. Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
Great. Thank you for being here today. We're excited to hear more about your company, and I know you have some other colleagues and employees with you to share. So I'm going to hand it over to you now.
Okay. As Cindy said, my name is Trisha. I worked at Trans-Matic for 13 years. I'm the Human Resources Business Partner here at Trans-Matic, and I work with all the employees on benefit-related payroll, interviewing, recruiting, all of those things. So Trans-Matic is a deep draw metal stamping company, and we're located on the south side of Holland. We have about 220 employees here. And then, like the video said, we are also global, and we do have a plant in Monterrey, Mexico, and one in Suzhou, China as well. So now I'm going to turn it over to Cody. He is one of our apprentices here at Trans-Matic, and he's going to talk a little bit more about the apprentice program.
Hi, my name is Cody Carafa. I am a first-year apprentice here at Trans-Matic. I graduated from Jenison High School in the class of 2019. My junior year of high school, I attended the Ottawa County Tech Center. While there, I went to the Engineering, Design, and Machine Technologies program. That program introduced me to some manufacturing, using mills, lathes, surface grinders, as well as some introduction to some engineering software and 3D CAD programs. In that class, we came and took a tour of Trans-Matic, and that is where I was introduced to the company and took an interest in it. I ended up starting as an intern my junior year of high school, helping to clean up the tool rooms and keep things tidied up. Once I graduated high school, I started working here full-time as a die setter trainee. And after I completed that training, I have now moved into the apprenticeship program, and I'm working to get my journeyman's card at the end of that. So one of the big things about our apprenticeship program here at Trans-Matic is we have our very own training cell. This allows us to get trained and learn about the presses and what we do without having to be on the production floor and learn at a slower pace, as well as be able to dig more in depth and take our time, go through all the different processes before we actually get out onto the production floor. We work a lot with our training coordinator, Shaden Headley. He teaches us a lot and introduces us to the programs and the practices that we implement once we are out on the production floor. So out on the production floor, we train on the various presses that we have. We have all the way up to 600-ton presses with the range of capabilities, including servo presses to make a wide variety of parts. This is some of the tooling. We have to troubleshoot if something goes wrong with the press to work on getting the parts back into spec and making quality parts for our customers. And these are a variety of the parts that we make. We make parts for automotive, such as Denso and Bosch, as well as many residential things, such as slag door hardware.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I've been here since graduated high school from Allegan. So from there, I started in my die setter position, and that took me about a year to complete. After that, I got into the apprenticeship, and I'm on currently on year 2. And I am, that's it, be graduating in 2023. One of the most memorable parts of my apprenticeship so far have been I was asked to help out with a prototype in the training cell. So this is it laid out here. So I got it from start to finish, still from the blank and progressive through the press, and then this is the finished part.
Hello, my name is Shane Headley. I am the training manager here at Trans-Matic. So I oversee both of our apprenticeship programs. We have an apprenticeship program in our CNC tool room and also on our production eyelet press floor. The other part of my job, you heard both Jacob and Cody talk about the training cell. So I work with early new employees to the industry. So I will work with them kind of from entering the door up through and throughout the apprenticeship program. So I oversee the training cell. We're going to work with the individuals in there, teaching them manual mills, manual lathes, grinders outside of the production environment, so they can kind of learn at their own pace there. We found that at Trans-Matic that has seemed to work out really well. Everyone seems to learn at a different rate, a different level. So that works out well. Part of my journey, how I got here, and one thing you'll find in manufacturing is we love to promote from within. So my high school senior year, I started a co-op program through the Tech Center, Ottawa County Tech Center. I started in our tool room as a machinist, worked my way up through that, was accepted into the apprenticeship program in our CNC tool room. After 6 years in our CNC tool room, I progressed out to our production floor, went through another apprenticeship program, and became a tool maker on the floor. So one nice thing about the apprenticeship programs or getting involved in manufacturing is the companies that you work for will pay for your schooling. So that was one benefit that helped me out is of course, the technical training, but then also the college courses that they paid for 100% that way. So some advice to you exploring careers, what you're thinking about is try and find something you enjoy. I know that's hard. What do you want to do for the rest of your life, right? Mom and dad are asking, figure something out, go to college, do something. One thing a lot of the manufacturers offer is job shadows. You can come in and shadow somebody for a day. You can work with one of our apprentices for 4 hours and maybe get a look at that and see if it's something you enjoy. The other thing, when your Christmas is coming up, when you're at Christmas parties, talk to that crazy Uncle Larry and ask him what he does for a living and why he likes it and how he got into it. So good luck with your career quest.
Well, that was really interesting. Thank you so much. I love hearing about the apprenticeships and everything that you guys have been doing. And we appreciate you sharing. And also, just so the teachers know that in the educator toolkit, there's a lot of information about apprenticeships that you could share with your students. All right. Well, thank you very much to Trans-Matic Manufacturing. Next, I'd like to introduce you to LG Energy Solutions. We're going to first start with their company video, and then I'll introduce you to Jake.
Lithium-ion batteries have many uses. They can power a toothbrush, phone, or even a car. Car batteries are what we build in Michigan. But how do batteries work? Batteries are powered by the movement of atoms between the anode and the cathode. The plus end, or anode, has positive ions. It is made up of a mixture containing lithium ions. Ions are atoms with a charge. The minus end, or cathode, has negative ions. It accepts the electrons the anode gives off during use and releases electrons when the battery is being recharged. Removing the lithium ion from the metal oxide forces its electron to separate. Batteries control the flow of electrons between the anode to the cathode by only allowing them to move in a single direction. By guiding these electrons down a circuit, we generate energy. When they're being recharged, the flow is reversed. We use a separator to control the transfer of electrons between the anode and cathode. The separator consists of a plastic barrier and a lithium salt electrolyte solution. This solution allows positive ions to flow between the cathode and anode. A complete battery needs to be folded, filled, sealed in its pouch, charged, discharged, aged, graded, and stored. The graded batteries are ready to be packed into modules. The batteries we're making at LG CMI are used to power some of the most popular cars and trucks on the market. LG CMI is dedicated to making the best lithium-ion batteries in the world. And that's why we need you.
Well, nice video. Thank you so much. We have Jake Sweetike here with us today from LG Energy Solution. How are you, Jake?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm doing well, and I'm very excited to be a part of this presentation and speaking with everyone here today. I'm the recruiting manager here at LG Energy Solution, or LG Chem, right here in Holland. And it is my responsibility to hire everyone at our plant, along with me and my team here. And again, I'm excited to be speaking with you because you are really the future of manufacturing here in West Michigan, and really what powers the industry forward. Without you and having a solid foundation in the careers that you're striving for, We really have no automotive industry or really manufacturing. So excited to have a chance to speak with you a little bit more about what we do here at LG. As you saw in the video, our processes for making a battery are pretty complex, and we do all that here in Holland. And I can take you through some of what we do here just with my PowerPoint presentation that I have in place. But would love for you to learn more and check us out online when you get a chance after this. So I'll go ahead and share my screen here. So again, you might know us by a couple names. LG Chem is our I guess our parent company, and then we here locally are known as LG Energy Solution. All rolls up into the same company. So we took you through a little bit of how a battery is made in that short clip, and you'll notice here there's 4 main processes, 3 of which are listed on this slide of how a cell or battery is actually manufactured. We first start at the electro process, where all of our raw material is really combined to make a battery. It's still not a battery yet at this point. It is not a battery until it is charged in the formation piece of the process. So after the battery makes it through the electrode process, it's then taken to assembly, where the packaging around the battery is really put into play, and then taken to formation, where that's where it becomes a battery. And the battery is actually charged and discharged and then aged, just like if you were making like a wine or any type of fermentation process, a battery goes through the same process, and that happens in our formation stage as well too. So it's a pretty complicated process that we put the battery through. And the really interesting thing about working at LG is that you get a very large variety of professions that you'd be interacting with, from maintenance tech positions that are fixing and working on each one of these machines that you see here to accountants and marketing people. You get that whole spectrum. So one thing to keep in mind is that just because you're going into the manufacturing industry doesn't mean that you're going to be behind a press or behind an assembly line all day. There's a variety of different professions to take on, and we also look to move people around within our organization. So you'll talk to individuals that were working the line one day and have eventually kind of moved around and are in a position that's strictly behind a desk crunching numbers. So it's an interesting dynamic that you get to be a part of. We're about 1,300 people in our building, so there's a wide variety of professions and trades that you get to be a part of. So once we get through the formation process, this is what the end product looks like. At first glance, nothing exciting, but what this really is a battery pack or a replacement for a typical combustion engine. So you see here, there's 3 different products that really come out of our formation process. A cell, which is a battery, a module, which is a stack of cells, or a pack. A pack is pretty much a plug and play engine for a car. That pack is then placed in a vehicle, and off you go. You got a fully electric vehicle to operate it. So like I said, what we're doing at LG, we're really driving the future when it comes to climate control and what we're doing for the environment. And then also with the way that the electric vehicle industry is really growing, we're really setting ourselves up for a really successful and bright future at LG Energy Solution in Holland. So right now we'll take you through a short clip of some of the people that I work with here at LG, and they'll take you through some of the processes that are involved and explain to you why they like working at LG Energy Solution.
People ask me what we do at LG Chem. We start from a raw material and building a lithium-ion battery.
When you walk out into the plant, high ceilings, it's very spacious. You'll see a lot of activity going on. It's very busy, a lot of work in process.
I oversee operations in the electrode area. So we are making the base components of the battery that will eventually be assembled together into the battery cells. The purity of the components that we have to use to make the battery has to be very high. And because of that, we have to run in a clean room process.
I'm the assistant manager of the packaging process. We go from having the individual electrode sheets being cut to all the way the battery is made, and we sent it on to begin the electrical charging process. To make sure that we have a good battery cell that is going to last for 10 to 20 years, we monitor that battery for about a month after it's made.
I work in the formation department. We make sure that all of the final specs and the parameters are set for the customer.
I'm the assistant manager in the pack line department. We take those cells and we run them through our CMA line process, which is basically stacking and building the cells into a module itself. And with that module, there's a lot of operator interface, so the operators are constantly interacting with the product. From there, we take the module and we bring it over to the BMA line, where we actually build it into a battery pack.
So then that way, when they get the product, it goes straight into the battery pack and straight into the car.
So it's pretty amazing what we start with and what we finish here at LG Chem. We're building a product for the renewable energy industry, and it's great to be part of that growth.
I love coming to work, talking to my employees. They're kind of like your second family away from home, you know. We relate in a lot of different ways, even though we're so different. You know, our ages are different, our cultures are so different, but we seem to all just get along really well.
From a cafeteria that offers tremendous food choices to a gym for workout facilities.
LG Chem is a great place to work. I actually spend almost 30 minutes of my lunch hours at a fitness room. So it really recharges, you know, throughout the day, and I feel really great.
The environment here at LG Chem inside the plant is very open, very spacious, very clean, comfortable work environment for all of our employees.
Currently, LG Chem has 500 team members between hourly and salary employees to a payroll that's growing over $20 million.
There's so many companies within our community that I could go to or anybody could go to, but I would rather be here.
We're still continuing to grow and continuing to hire, continuing to build.
What I believe makes LG Chem the employer of choice is having a challenging environment so that people that come to work every day want to make improvements, know they can participate, and they grow as the company grows.
I think the coolest part about building the battery pack itself is just knowing that this thing is going to be out on the road and it's going to be in vehicles and doing what it's supposed to be doing. And so it's cool to know that you're building a product that's going to impact the earth in a positive way.
I'm proud to work here because of the fact that I'm making a positive impact on the community.
It's just been non-stop crazy fun, and I don't think the fun is going to stop anytime soon.
Just making sure that, you know, we keep clean vehicles out on the roads and making people happy.
As the electrification of vehicles continues, I believe LG Chem is very well positioned to grow with that future technology. I would like to thank all of you for taking a look inside of what we're all about at LG Chem and seeing how we're growing to be the future.
So there you have it. There's a little bit of information from some of the individuals that I work with right here in Holland, and you know, love to encourage you to continue pursuing your education in the manufacturing sector, and love to take any questions from you if you have any at this point.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Jake. You did a great job with your presentation, and we really appreciate that. So now we're ready for the question and answer segment, and Jerry Hill is here. I'll hand it over to you, Jerry.
Thanks, Cindy. Great to be here, and thanks for having me. Hey, Jake, first question for you, sir. students would like to know, how long do the batteries last? What happens to them when they're no longer usable in a car?
Great question. So our batteries typically last 10 to 20 years in a vehicle. And what happens is once that battery is used up and it is no longer usable, you'll end up having to get a replacement battery, just like you would other parts of your vehicle. So with this, we have a process in place with one of our sister companies that will go out and manage that material and recycle that material. So it's a pretty integrated process, just because there is chemicals involved and it can be hazardous at some level. But for the most part, those batteries, once they are used up, they're relatively safe. So yeah, there's a little bit of how that full cycle battery ends up.
Thanks, Jake. Where's your sister company that will help with that? Are they located in Michigan as well?
They are located throughout the U.S. So we have a couple different sites throughout the United States and the world that processes those batteries. Now, the fortunate part is we have not met that milestone yet in the recycling of batteries, because electric vehicles are so new. We're still waiting for that time period to start replacing those batteries. So we got some time before we have mass replacement going on, but we do have plans in place for managing that material once that does happen.
That's awesome, Jake. Thanks. Who are your main customers?
Ooh, that's a good question. I really can't get into those details over this platform, but if you see an electrical vehicle on the road, 1 in 3 of those vehicles came from LG. Most of the vehicles that you'll see right here in Michigan were the batteries for those vehicles were produced right here in Holland. So as far as details, that's about as much detail as I can give you. But yeah, most of those are on the road are produced right here in Holland.
The last question for you, Jake, before we go over to Shane. You do all the hiring for LG Chem. What qualifications do you look for people besides education or training? I mean, what qualities do you look for in an individual applicant that our students should know about before they go into an interview?
Yeah. So when I look at an individual and when my hiring managers look at hiring, we are really looking for someone that is adaptable and flexible to the situation. So not every day is going to be the same when you come into our work environment. And that goes for really any position here, whether it be an office position or a position out on the floor. It's good. You're going to have a different set of challenges thrown at you from day to day. And we really look for someone that can take those on and run with them and come back the next day and do the same thing. So it's a dynamic work environment where not every day is the same. So that adaptability and flexibility is key in anyone that we bring on.
Great. Thank you, Jake. We really appreciate your answers and taking the time to answer our questions.
Absolutely.
Hey, Shane, students always want to know, how old do you have to be to start in a manufacturing career? When could they do a job shadow or an internship or some of those types of things with Trans-Matic if they were interested? How old do they need to be?
So anytime you're going to do hands-on kind of skilled labor kind of thing, we're going to either need a work release from school or you need to be 18. But to come in, like one of our apprentices talked and said, to do a production intern where you can start to kind of get familiar with the facility, do some cleaning. That can be as early as your junior year, before your junior year, and come in and check it out. Or job shadows. Yeah, same thing, junior, senior in high school, come out and work 4 hours with one of the individuals in an area that you would like to pursue.
About a typical career path. If I came in as an entry-level employee, what would I be doing? And then what does kind of mid-level look like, and perhaps where I could wind up in management or plant manager or those types of things?
Yeah, so entry level, if you're talking about the production floor, you would be checking coils, scrap, coolants, part geometry, making sure we're making good parts. And then as you kind of progress throughout the career there, the next opportunity would probably be setting the tools up, starting up the press, getting the press to run, making a dimensionally good part. And then we would probably take a look at like an apprenticeship program where we're going to send you through our training program, our apprenticeship program, and then also taking some college courses. That is a 8,000 hour 4-year program that we pay 100% for that. Then you become a tool maker. Now you're working on the presses, making decisions that affect part quality, that affect customers, right? You're sending the parts to the customer that way. And then from there, kind of depends on personality, personal goals, what you're looking to get into as far as, a management position or maybe some other facet of the company, engineering or something like that. So.
Perfect. Thank you. Really appreciate it, Shane. One last question, and then we got to give it back to Cindy. But if you were going to give a young person one piece of advice that was getting started in today's market, what would it be?
I think would be intentional about it. In an interview, don't be afraid to toot your own horn. No one else is going to give you that drive or pull you along once you get out of school. Kind of like in school, you need that internal drive, and be confident in your abilities and sell that in an interview. But then also be intentional about what you want to get into. Do some job shadows, do some research, figure out what kind of your niche is, and be intentional about pursuing that.
That sounds like great advice, Shane, and thank you. Cindy, back to you.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Jerry, and thank you to Shane and Jake. We really appreciate your time with the questions and answers, and for LG Energy Solutions and Trans-Matic Manufacturing to be part of our webinar today. We also want to thank the teachers and students. We appreciate your participation. Please remember to complete the survey. And also, we are recording this, and we will have it on our Discover Manufacturing YouTube channel soon, within the next week or two, so you can check it out again. And yeah, thanks again, and we are ready to say goodbye and have a great day.